Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off this presentation with you today. We're going to explore a comprehensive guide to framing research objectives and selecting the right analysis methods to make your research truly impactful. The title is A Comprehensive Guide to Framing Objectives and Selecting Appropriate Analysis Methods for Impactful Research. And the subtitle is Confused About Research Objectives and Tools. Learn qualitative versus quantitative to choose the right analysis. Over the next few slides, we'll cover how to set clear objectives, choose between qualitative and quantitative methods, and ensure your research tools align perfectly with your goals. Let's get started. When we look at quantitative research, we're focusing on numbers and statistics to test hypotheses, identify patterns, and make predictions. It helps us answer questions like, how many or how much, aiming for data that is objective and measurable. This type of research allows us to generalize findings across larger populations. On the other hand, qualitative research dives into exploring in-depth insights, experiences, perceptions, and behaviors. Instead of numbers, it uses words, images, and sounds to answer how and why questions. The goal here is to understand phenomena more deeply rather than measure them. Both approaches are essential for a comprehensive understanding of the research landscape, as they complement each other by providing different perspectives. Let's take a closer look at how we structure our research objectives. For quantitative studies, the goal is typically to measure, determine, compare, test, or quantify something. Essentially, we're focused on establishing relationships between variables or assessing the impact of an intervention on an outcome. The key idea here is measurement, finding out how much or how strongly something is affected. On the other hand, qualitative objectives are more about exploring and understanding experiences. Words like explore, understand, describe, identify, discover, and gain insight into are central here. The focus shifts to generating hypotheses, uncovering perspectives, and deepening our comprehension of the target group's lived experiences regarding a particular phenomenon. Finally, when framing your research objectives, it's helpful to think about the what and the why. Are you trying to measure an impact or explore experiences? Clarifying this helps guide your entire research design and ensures your objectives align with your overall goals. This approach ensures your study is both purposeful and clearly directed. On this slide, I want to walk you through how we're crafting our research objectives, which include 3 qualitative and 1 quantitative focus. First, we're looking at the relationship between social media usage and anxiety levels among young adults in India, specifically those aged 18 to 25. This is a quantitative objective, meaning we're measuring and analyzing numerical data to see if there's a correlation there. Next, we have a qualitative objective aimed at understanding what influences consumer trust in e-commerce platforms across India. Here, we're exploring perceptions and attitudes rather than numbers, which helps us grasp the deeper factors at play. Moving on, we're also interested in remote employees' perspectives on work-life balance and productivity after the pandemic. This is another qualitative goal, focusing on perceptions and personal experiences to understand how remote work is affecting them. Finally, we're exploring the challenges small businesses face when adopting digital marketing strategies in Tier 2 cities of India. Again, this is qualitative, as it involves understanding the specific hurdles these businesses encounter in a rapidly digitalizing environment. Overall, this slide highlights how we're balancing quantitative and qualitative approaches to get a comprehensive view of these important issues, all aligned with the broader theme of understanding consumer behavior, workplace dynamics, and digital adoption in India. On this slide, we're exploring the different types of analysis methods we can use depending on our research goals. When we're dealing with quantitative data, we often start with descriptive statistics like the mean, median, and mode to get a sense of our data's central tendency and distribution. From there, inferential statistics such as t-tests, ANOVA, regression, and correlation analysis help us determine relationships, compare groups, and understand the impact of variables. These methods allow us to measure and analyze the frequency and levels of different factors within our data. On the other hand, If our focus is more qualitative, we turn to methods like thematic analysis, content analysis, grounded theory, and narrative analysis. These approaches help us explore and understand perceptions, experiences, and the factors that shape them. They allow us to describe and interpret themes and patterns within qualitative data, giving us deeper insights into the underlying meanings. The key to choosing the right analysis method is to think of these keywords, like measure, determine, compare, relationship, correlation, impact, frequency, levels, explore, understand, describe, perceptions, experiences, factors, themes, as your compass. They guide you in selecting the most suitable approach based on whether you're focusing on quantifying data or understanding complex qualitative insights. This alignment helps ensure your analysis effectively supports your overall research objectives. Now, let's take a closer look at the analysis methods we've chosen for each of our objectives. For Objective 3, which focuses on consumer trust, we're using content analysis. This approach helps us categorize and quantify different perceptions people have about work-life balance and productivity, giving us a clearer picture of how consumers view these issues. Moving on to Objective 2, related to remote employees, we're employing thematic analysis. This method allows us to identify recurring themes and patterns in the challenges reported by businesses. By doing this, we can better understand the common obstacles faced in remote work environments. Finally, for Objective 1, which centers on small businesses, we've selected analysis of qualitative objectives. This choice helps us explore the nuanced factors influencing trust at a more detailed level, providing insights that can inform our broader theoretical framework. Altogether, these analysis strategies are designed to uncover key insights across different areas, connecting back to our overall goal of understanding and developing a comprehensive model of trust factors in this evolving landscape. Now, to measure the correlation between the frequency of social media usage and self-reported levels of anxiety, we turn to inferential statistics, specifically the Pearson correlation coefficient. This helps us understand both the strength and the direction of the linear relationship between these two variables. On the other hand, for descriptive statistics, we focus on summarizing our data. So, looking at how often people use social media and their anxiety levels. We'll use measures like the mean to find the average and the standard deviation to understand the variability within our data. Together, these statistical tools allow us to not only describe the data, but also make meaningful inferences about the relationship between social media use and anxiety, which is at the core of our overall research objective. Let's take a closer look at the power of mixed methods. When we combine qualitative and quantitative approaches, we gain richer insights into our research questions. Quantitative data allows us to generalize findings to larger populations, giving us a broad overview. On the other hand, qualitative data helps us understand the why behind those numbers, providing explanatory power. By integrating both methods, we get a more comprehensive understanding of the topic. This combined approach truly offers a more complete picture, helping us draw more nuanced and meaningful conclusions. Combining different approaches in your research can really enrich your findings. When you do this, you get a more comprehensive understanding that captures both the broad picture and the finer details. It's like getting the best of both worlds. This is where considering mixed methods becomes so valuable. By integrating qualitative and quantitative data, you can uncover insights that might be missed if you only stick to one approach. Remember, the goal is to produce findings that are both robust and nuanced, giving you a clearer picture of the research landscape. So, always think about how combining methods can strengthen your overall analysis and help you answer your research questions more effectively. As we move towards the final part of our presentation, I want to emphasize the importance of embracing the process of inquiry. It's really about allowing your research questions to guide you toward the most suitable methods. This journey from defining clear, well-framed objectives to conducting a thorough analysis is where the most meaningful insights truly emerge. By taking the time to carefully craft your objectives, you set a strong foundation for your research. Understanding the nuances between qualitative and quantitative methods is key, Each has its own strengths and best use cases. When you grasp these differences, you're better equipped to choose the right approach for your specific questions. Ultimately, your research journey, from the initial objectives to the final insights, is about building a logical, thoughtful process that leads to impactful discoveries. When you approach it with curiosity and clarity, you'll find that the insights you uncover are not only valuable, but also truly meaningful. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide.